awesome people of YouTube. Welcome to 7 Days to Die build video. In this one, I'm going to be talking about how to be support slash base mom or farmer, stuff like that. But before we get started, I just want to say, if you do enjoy this type of videos or 7 Days to Die's content, do let me know by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing. It helps tremendously. Might not mean much to you, but it means a lot for the channel. Also, we do stream every single day around 4 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. We sometimes do a solo run where you can mess with me via Twitch integration. Spawn enemies for me to fight, where you can, if you win, you can get a nice spot from the points, or you can be nice and spawn me some goodies. And also, we have our own Discord. All those links are down in the description. But with that said, let's get into the build. This build is all about taking care of the base and getting the base progressed. So it's not a damage. You can still do damage with certain tools. Don't just ignore the tools on my bottom. That's from a previous build that I will share eventually. But let's talk about this build. Now, for perception, you can put 5 points in, so you can take salvage operation. The reason why is so your salvage deals 40% more damage, which means you harvest more and you get more harvest. You get more resource with a wrench, ratchet, or impact driver, and you use less stamina and you find more salvage tools and parts. This is really helpful because you're gonna need a lot of mechanical parts, electrical parts, and a bunch of other stuff. Especially if you're in a big group, which this build is more if you play in a group. At least you and a buddy, or if you're in a 3-man, 4-man, or if you're on PC into bigger groups, right? This will help you get more materials so you can help your group make good stuff, or you can give it to buddies if they need it. Now in strength, we put 5 points. The reason why I have 6 because of one of my mods. But here you take Master Chef, because the first one allows you to get more cook magazines. You use 20% less recipes or ingredients and recipes. You cook 40% faster, right? And at the second one, you get more salvageable food in dumpsters, and you get 60% cooking, right? Faster cooking. Now, if you really want more cooking and less of ingredients used, especially if you're in a big group, taking more into strength will be nice for army cook. But with a 60% faster cook, it's already pretty huge. Right? Now, also with 6 points total, you'll be able to get to 4 into minus 69. With 5 points, you only get to Muckman. Now, the reason why you want to have at the very least 3 is so your tools do more damage, which you don't really gonna fight with them, but they do 90% more damage to blocks. With pick, axe, shovel, chainsaw, and auger, use less stamina until you get chainsaw. The auger stamina is gonna be your biggest thing. Just get more tools and parts and tools, which means with this you'll be able to break blocks faster, allowing you to mine more or get your build set up. Especially if you're going to underground setup, or if you're making like a forward base for the enemies to fall in, like their pit. Now, mother load, again with 5 points of strength, you only get to shrug gold. With this, you get more ore from, you get more stuff from ore, stone, terrain blocks, and trees. With axe, pick, shovel, chainsaw, and auger, which means you can get more iron, more coal, more lead, more nitrate powder. You have more chances, to get more of that, which you will need an oil shell, just so you need to have less time investing in getting those materials. That's pretty good. With level 4, you get up to 80% instead of 60. But 3 is very least you need. Now in fortitude, you only put 5 points, and the only thing is for the living of the land, because you get up to farmer. So at gather, you double the harvest of wild or planted crops. Your farm blast costs 30% less to craft. At forager, it's 50% less to craft, and you have 50% chance to harvest one additional crop. Now at farmer, it triples the harvest of wild or planted crops. So for example, if you punch or harvest cotton, you get 4 cotton at the very least, which is huge, allowing you to get more of that, which means you can craft more cloth fragment, but it also allows you to harvest more food like coffee or corn, potatoes, yucca, pumpkins, all of that, which means you're going to be able to craft more and more food. This is really huge because remember, you're more of a support based mom build. I sometimes enjoy playing it, you know, because especially in the big groups, because it allows the whole team to not struggle as much. Because in our group run, the first day we struggled. Again, I'm not going with this build in there, but just having living off the land was already massive, allowing us to have a little bit more food sustainability. Now, in agility, there's nothing for us, you know. In intellect, you want to max it out. I only have 9 points. My 10th point comes from the mod, so I don't have to use 3 points. Now here, taking charismatic nature, which is huge, allows allies and party members to regenerate lost health 50% faster. It also gives them 20% more block and melee damage. It makes them take 10% less damage from all sources, take half the damage for bleeding, and stop bleeding twice as fast. And this doesn't have a range. You could be on the opposite side of the world. You could be 7 kilometers away and your friends will still have that. Now the biggest thing is also Captain. At 4, you are allies and party members who get 10% better loot. Now Max at General, they get 20% better loot and they get +1 to attributes. So like +1 intellect, agility, fortitude, strength, and perception, which is massive. So they don't have to get it. So they can get their stuff to 9, and with your charismatic nature, they get that 10th free. Right? Now here, a physician, you take 3 only, because since you're the base mom, you can still go out and go with your friends to, you know, loot up, do stuff, you know, find the resources for you to do or to use. This will allow you to get more XP, way more XP when using bandages, first aid bandages, first aid kits, and splints, and your cast cure broken limbs instantly, and you treat critical injuries 50% faster, and your medical healing items heal and 100% more over time. So instead of, for example, 30 healing HP from first aid, it'll give you 60, which is massive. It means that first aid kits used, you get to have more stockpile, so you'll be able to eventually maybe roll off that build. Now you take 5 points in advanced engineering. Reason why is, you can see, you get more XP from electrical traps, because you want to use them for your horde. You have to craft glue cheaper, you get more, your items craft 20% faster at the forge. Now at Tinker, it's 30% XP from traps, you know, 20% crafting speed at workbench and cement mixer. At Craftsman, it's 45% more XP from electrical traps. All forge recipes cost 10% less. Crafting forged steel and electrical devices cost 15% less, which is massive because you're going to need a lot of forged iron and forged steel. And having forged steel cost less is already huge. You're going to be going into electricity a lot, especially for traps. Them costing 15% less is already huge. At Inventor, it's 60% from electrical traps. All forged recipes cost 15% less. Crafting forged steel and electrical devices 25% less. Even better. So less materials used, which means you can craft more. At Advanced Engineering, you get 75% XP from electrical traps, because you're never going to get the full XP. But even getting 75% electrical XP from electrical traps is already massive. And all forged recipes cost 20% less. And crafting forged and forged steel and electrical devices cost 35% less. It's huge, you know. Now at Grease Monkey, each one will allow you to craft certain parts for 33% cheaper. So for bicycle mechanic, it's bicycle parts and wheels. At mini bike or mini bike master, it's 33 for mini bike parts. Motorcycle mechanic, motorcycle, truck 4x4 parts, and avionics wizard is gyrocopter parts 33% cheaper. But each one gives you 10% more effectiveness with your repair kits on vehicles. And you're gonna need it, especially for 4x4, because unfortunately it feels like it's made out of paper. So having that allows you to be a lot more. So instead of repairing, for example, like 40 HP, you can repair 60 HP if you get the full Grease Monkey setup. Now, if you get to, for example, like my level 68, from here, you can go into maybe damage setup. Or if you want to, you can max out salvage operations, getting your perception more. You know, or if you want, you can go get more strength for minus 69 and Motherload, Master Chef. So from here you can continue. Or if you don't want to specialize into certain things, for example, one of your buddies is going into strength, you know, and he doesn't mind picking up minus 69 and Motherload, you can forego that, allowing you to go into the damage later. You know? Now, for the gear, that is going to be more up to you. It's more situational, right? For example, if you are going to be going more into mining, miner stuff will be huge. For example, not the boots. Sorry. Miner gloves gives you more damage from mining tools. And the mining helmet allow you to increase mining tool harvest, which is already huge, right? I'll just have huge time mining. Now, if you are going, for example, to do a lot of farming, you're not gonna wear a full farming set because full set gives you more health and stamina from food. You can go with a farmer hat if you need more seeds and to find. Get that to get more seeds, for example, right? Boots you definitely want to have to get chance to gain seed when harvesting. You know? Especially early on, that might be huge for you. But later, it's not. You also want to craft it at tier 6 to get the highest bonus. And farmer outfit, you definitely want to have just to get a chance to harvest extra crop. Now, when you're already harvesting 7 or 8, this might not be as useful, but it might help you get that little bit of an edge. Now, for when you go out scavenging, you know, having scavenger boots will be good if you're using a lot of stamina, because it will reduce your stamina when salvaging, and it will be able to find better quality loot. So this might be your more of an everyday gear set, and though it's more for salvaging. Scavenger gloves increases resources when salvaging, so you get even more, especially going to a scavenger setup, you get a crap ton of resources. Now a scavenger hat, you get more XP when salvaging. You know, you can wear a nerd helmet for more XP pretty much everywhere else, but having the scavenger hat with a treasure mod to get 40% XP, 30% XP from salvaging because of the helmet, and extra 10 from that mod allows you to get a crap ton of XP when salvaging. You know, especially when you're going to be salvaging a lot. Now, the outfit just reduces your encumbrance, which is pretty nice because you don't want to go into pattern mode. This way you can have all of this stuff at the bottom. Right? Now, this next couple setups are more of situations up to you, and that is a lumberjack. Now, I don't really wear it because if you need to, if you want, you can go lumberjack gloves, increase melee damage with the axes. Doesn't help with chainsaw. I don't think it helps with chainsaw, but this is not bad until you get the chainsaw. Now hat increases wood harvesting, which is really nice, so you can get more wood. Now for building, especially if you want to get a lot of XP, you're going to put a building block, then upgrade it to wood, then to cobblestone, then cement, to steel. Yes, it's going to take a lot more resources. Well, not a lot more, but it's going to take a lot of different resources versus just crafting the highest you can. But this will get you a lot more XP, especially if you're base mom / support / builder. This will help. Now the outfit just reduces encumbrance. Doesn't really, help. It doesn't help us much, right? But that's all the outfits that you can wear, and this is the setup that you want, right? For the magazines that I definitely recommend is harvesting tools, repair tools, salvage tools, because you are all about, taking care of your buddies. You're going to be doing a lot of harvesting, doing salvaging. Repair just allows you to, repair your base more. You're going to be all about, having the materials to do that. You also want to have armor. That's up to you if you want it. Because armor for myself and for my buddies, we notice armor is a lot easier. Medical you also want to have, because you're going to be doing a lot of medical. You're going to be patching your buddies up, allowing you to get to first aid kit or plaster cast, herbal medicine. All that is going to help you have easier time, especially since you're going to have physician, which allow you to heal your buddies with more, or heal your buddies for more HP and get rid of their critical injuries and cure the broken limbs with the plaster cast. Now you also want to have food a lot in this playthrough. I did it in my buddy one. The reason why is because you're going to be harvesting a lot. And with a chef, you'll be able to use less resources. You'll be able to get more food with the same amount of resources if somebody else was doing it. Now for seeds, that's pretty easy. It's 20. You also want to have that because remember, you're going to be planting a lot because you're going to be harvesting a lot. You know, there's no point of having two people right off the bat being on one planting and one harvesting. You just want to be the same person. Eventually, once you have the seed max out, yes, you can pass it off to other buddies. You also want to have workstations because you are going to be the one that has reduced crafting cost. You getting to workstations done is massive, right? And in vehicles, you also want to have maxed out because you have the monkey, or grease monkey, sorry, because it's going to cost you less to make that. So this is all the books that you want to have, all the skills, the gear. Now, last but certainly not least, for the perks, perk books. Auto mining is huge because you get 20% more ore. At the very least, get the first one, so you have a rare chance of getting silver, gold, and diamond nuggets, which is huge. Now, if you get full of it, it'll allow you to get more ore, faster ore, and you'll be able to use super strong coffee, the black strap, which is huge, you know, and it will allow you to craft basic resource into compact stacks, which is massive by itself. Now, you can also, if you do a lot of hunting, you can go with a hunter journal. It allows you to get more damage against certain creatures. It allows you to harvest more meat, bones, and leather from them. It's pretty good because you're going to need a lot of meat to get the food going. And the rest is kind of whatever. By the way, I forgot to mention one more skill that is kind of up to you, is Huntsman. Because the reason why I say it's kind of up to you is because if you want to max it out, get a lot more cooking, you will need to get maxed out. But you can forego that because if you have 4 people, yes, you're going to need meat. But once you get into higher tier zones, for example, into snow or wasteland like we are now, you're going to be able to find a lot of bears, a lot of snow lions, and a lot of wolves. So the meat won't be as much trouble. That's why I didn't go with that. But if you want to, you can go. But with that said, I hope this build helped you to be a better base mom / support, you know, just a bunch of different stuff around the base. I'll have more builds on a stealthy build, more of like a support intel build, you know, brawler build, all those other builds later. So if you want to see them, do smash that like button, let me know down in the comments, and especially subscribe. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to stay awesome. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one. Bye bye.